At approximately 9:30 on the 1st of July, detectives from the Otahuhu Threat Assessment Unit simultaneously raided the homes of 3 animal rights activists. One arrest was made, the others weren't home at the time. In the case of one activist, the home of a relative was also searched, despite the fact that she does not reside there. In the following days, another raid was executed and more activists were arrested and charged, bringing the total number of arrests to 6. These police actions were understood to be in reaction to a series of anti-fur demonstrations outside a Newmarket clothing store in April.
I'm being charged with intimidation, which they say is relating to a protest at Belushi, which is a shop in Newmarket that was selling fur. It was a peaceful protest. We were standing outside chanting and handing out leaflets to the public. The only time I went in the store was to check to see if they were still selling fur, and then the woman went nuts and so I left. Probably over half of my stuff has been taken, all my computer stuff, and I don't know everything they took because I couldn't watch all the cops at the same time. Like one of them was over one side of the room and the other over the other, and another one searching somewhere else. They've taken computer hardware, 3 whole computers, videotapes, floppy disks, CDs, camera, tapes, cell phone, leaflets, posters, banners. The warrant they gave me is here, and they were searching for a typewritten sign saying no animal fur products in the store, Belushi, protest placards, cameras, film, negatives, photographs, computer disks, videotapes, hard drives, sirens, megaphones, documentation relating to animal rights activists, including letters and diaries. They took stuff that wasn't on the search warrant. My cell phone isn't included anywhere here, and they've taken that. It says specifically computer hard drives, not anything else to do with computers. They took whole computers as well as other computer hardware like motherboards and USB ports and modems and everything that they could find.
I'm another one of these 6 people being charged in connection with the police crackdown on anti-fur protests, but I wasn't at the main protest in which most people are being arrested in connection with. I learned a few days after most people had their houses raided, they had a warrant out for my arrest and search of my home in connection to a separate, very peaceful protest which occurred 3 weeks later. They haven't searched my house yet, but Detective Daryl Petherick has told me that he has a warrant for the searching of my house and that they could do it any time within 30 days. So I've had to move, well, I've chosen to move my computer and virtually every animal rights related item out of my house in case he turns up. I personally think it's unlikely they'll search my house because they've already searched my house 8 months ago in connection to another peaceful protest, and still have my laptop computer, cell phone, video, Coronation Street video, over 100 floppy disks, posters off my wall, and virtually everything I own, which is either of a technical nature or connected to animal rights, so I don't think they'll bother coming back. That was in relation to a protest which occurred on World Farm Animal Day on the 2nd of October last year, in which I handed over a letter to a Tegel receptionist in the open office building explaining that chickens need straw to carry out basic instincts. And then a few other protesters spread some straw over the ground and we left. For that, I'm being charged with some fairly hefty charges. The next day, police turned up at my house with a search warrant for hail straw, white nylon sacks, or anything to do with animal rights. And I'm being charged with unlawfully in a building, intentional damage caused apparently to the carpet, which required $111 plus GST worth of cleaning, and burglary under a technicality in the law. And that even though I didn't break in and certainly never attempted to steal anything, police are charging me with burglary for the protest. I'm facing just over 17 years, a maximum sentence of just over 17 years in prison for handing over a letter about straw. I'm not only surprised, I'm very concerned that one can attend a peaceful protest and do as little as hand over a letter or go into a shop and peacefully see if it sells fur, and the next day have police turn up at their house with a search warrant for everything from their leaflets to their personal diaries and computers, cell phones, videos, and many personal or work-related items which have nothing to do with animal rights. And worse still, the police can, as they have in my case, can keep them for 8 months without returning them or using them in the commission of a charge. These bundles of paper here are some of the original copies of the original police documents which are prepared as part of my case. And I'm going to go through some of these now just as an indication of the things which activists have to be aware of. Be aware that having in their house that could be seized if they have them in their house, and just what the warrants give the police powers to take. So, for example, on a sort of light-hearted note, this is a forensic photo of my Coronation Street video, which police took out of my video player when they arrived. It's a famous scene in which Richard died, which caused power surges in Britain, when ladies got up to make their tea. They took over 100 floppy disks, most of which were work I used for school and my old university essays. If I flip through a bit more, one would think in New Zealand that banners would be a legal protesting, but everything such as anti-fur banners like this can be seized by police, even in the commission of a very minor charge like intimidation. The last item I'll look at is a GE t-shirt. I had this several years ago when I used to do street theatre. As part of a young Greens group in Christchurch, we printed some GE t-shirts, and the police took this off my towel rail. It says GE on one side, and their second photograph, it says "You are what you eat" with a barcode. So you think a normal t-shirt would be a t-shirt, but police were able to seize it and use it as part of their investigations. So more or less anything with vague connections to animal rights or activism in general, and any technical or media storage can and will be taken by police if and when they choose to obtain a warrant for any reason. My understanding was they need to show evidence that someone has been involved in a crime, and that by raiding their house they'll find evidence for it. But it looks like now they don't even need that because, well, in my personal case, it was a protest about straw, and they took away things like school keys, my computer, cell phone, and things which had nothing connecting to animal rights. In fact, over 100 floppy disks they took were mostly schoolwork I used as a teacher and my university essays. So it seems they can get a warrant and search anyone's house and take away anything they like for virtually no reason.
As activists, each of us at some time or another will come up against the police who will try and intimidate us into stopping what we do. Does it mean we should let it happen? No. Does it mean we're being effective? Absolutely.